guys, gals, and my non-gender conforming pals. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Carrington, and if you're new here, I would love if you would subscribe. So, for today's video, I went a little overboard on Charlotte Tillbury's website, and we're going to try out some of her products. The ones that we're going to try out are this contour wand. I've seen some people talk about it, and it's like 50-50 on people if people like it. I love cream contour. I think it looks really natural, really flattering, so I want to give this a try. Then I bought, it came in a set. It was like the Pillow Talk Jewel Lips with the lip liner. So I'm excited to try that. And then I bought this set. It's the Walk of No Shame. It's like this jewel pot with the eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to use those and put those together. Okay. I, for whatever reason, thought that this was the bronzer. And then when I opened it up and I realized that it was the setting powder, I went on a 30-minute search in all of my makeup. I went in my kids' rooms to see if they took it, because I could have sworn that I bought the matte bronzer in the seashell looking pan thing. I could not find it. So I went back through all my purchases and found out that I never purchased it. So now I'm sad, and now that's going to be added to my cart. And then I got this setting spray in a mini. I watched Wayne Goss's video on it, and he said he didn't like it because it smelled so strong, like it reminded him of the Resting Boss face from Huda. So I haven't tried it out, but I'm going to spray it. It does have a fragrance, okay, does anybody ever remember their moms having potpourri? I feel like it smells like that. It's not super strong, I can stand it. That's just kind of what it reminds me of, is potpourri. Not terrible, but we're going to try all of those things out. So first, we're going to start with eyes. As I mentioned in my last video, if you've seen that, it was trying out the Rose Decadence palette by Pat McGrath. I love to prime my eyes first. And so to use that, I love the Believe Beauty Lock It In eyeshadow primer. This is amazing, especially for hooded, droopy eyes. So let's zoom you on in. So I'm going to take a little bit of this primer, and I'm going to put it on my eyelids, kind of all over, especially focus it really out here. Do it to my other side. Also, I'm sorry if my lighting is a little off. It's 4:30 in the morning, so it might be a little bit darker. I tried to make it as bright as possible, but I gotta be at work here in a few hours. So I decided I would film. I'm going to film this and another video. I'm not sure if this one's going to be up first or the other one. But in the other one, I'm going to be talking about ColourPop during the pandemic. And I think it's something that really needs to be talked about. And that's definitely going to be something I'm going to hit on in my next video. So definitely check that out if you want to see more. Okay, so the palette that I got is the Walk of No Shame. And this is what the inside looks like. It looks like they're all kind of satiny, but I think I can make it work. But I'm going to swatch it. Does it have shadow names? What does this say? Oh, no. It has numbers. So this is 1. I don't know. You can't really. There you go. Kind of see that. This is 2. Oh, this is number 3, and it's super hard. It's so hard. I don't even know if does it even show up? I guess it does. It's just very hard. And then number 4. So that's what they look like. Why is that one so hard? I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. And then for the lid, we're going to put on the Walk of No Shame Jewel Pot. It's limited edition. This top is absolutely stunning. This packaging is beautiful. And this is the Walk of No Shame. Ooh, that's real nice. Do you see that? Beautiful. Okay, so let's get into the eye look. So for this eye look, I'm going to use the Glitzy Fritzy Eye Essential Bundle from Sigma. I love Sigma brushes. So if you don't know, they aren't glued in. They're like twisted in barrels, and they have a 2-year warranty. Most brushes don't have any warranty, and things like Morphe are just kind of glued in together. And I feel like they really just kind of start to fall apart after about a year or so. But Sigma, I've had brushes for years, and they still last. So I love them. Okay, so first for my eye look, I'm going to go in with shade number 2. So this little like orangish shade, and I'm going to apply that to my crease. Doesn't really pick up a lot of product. Okay. And then just kind of start working that in, windshield wiper motions, starting in the crease. But again, I've got that hooded droopy eyelid, so see how most of that just disappears? So then I'm going to take it up above some more once I have less product, so it kind of has more of a gradient and transition. First, I'm just going to start with this. This is a lot more pigmented than I thought it was going to be, because a lot didn't get on the brush when I first tried picking it up, but it's definitely pigmented. Windshield wiper motions, kind of doing some of the, and see how it kind of makes a little bit of a gradient down, and you're still seeing some of that color. I'm going to do the other eye. So this eye is a little bit smaller than this eye and is a lot more hooded. And for whatever reason, I have to take a lot less product on my brushes for this eye than I do this eye and still get the same payoff, even though I'm putting a lot less on the brush. So strange to me, but eye shapes are eye shapes, I guess. And again, just starting in the crease and then just kind of bringing it up towards the brow. Okay. I'm sure you're probably looking at my brows and you see like this one's like and this one's just kind of like straight across. So at my 12th birthday party, I was staying in a hotel. My mom worked at a hotel. She was like the assistant manager and she had to work overnight that night. So she got us a hotel room and I had like 5 or 6 friends come over. And one of my friends at the time brought out this like little, I don't know, like electric like eyebrow razor thing. And so we were like, oh, that's so cool, we're gonna try that out. And one of my friends got a slit in her eyebrow from it, and she's like, guys, somebody has to do this with me so I don't feel left out. I feel like I look stupid. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I don't even know why I volunteered to do this. I feel like such an idiot now, but I volunteered. And so I was like standing there, like trying to like map out my eye, and somebody came in the bathroom and hit the door, and off went my eyebrow, my whole eyebrow. And I went out there and I was like, you guys, and everyone was like, oh no. So then one of my friends was like, well, you're gonna have to shave off the other one or you're gonna look ridiculous. And I was like, I'm not shaving off the other one. And she's like, I'll do it for you. So she shaved my other eyebrow off. And I looked like an angry Oompa Loompa with no eyebrows. It was awful. My mom and older sister laughed at me for days. And ever since then, my brows don't grow. Like this is, like I don't really have to pluck them very often or anything, because literally this is what they look like. And for whatever reason, this one won't grow any more than straight, and this one will only grow with a little art. Yeah. So that's the story of my brows. Okay. Now I'm going to take the Sigma E25 blending brush, but I'm actually going to use this to pack this in my outer corner, and I'm going to take shade 4. And I always start with packing it. Make sure that the color really sets in there. And then just kind of take it, swipe it. Then I'll open up my eye. Kind of make sure this is getting on this like top little fat right there. like this brush for getting right up next to the lash line with my shadow. Because I feel like on this one, whenever I open my eyes, it just seems like right here, there's no color. So I really like taking it on this brush and really just getting it up there next to the lash line. Okay, so this is what we have so far. I feel like it looks almost a little bit similar. Like the colors look, like in the pan, they don't look similar at all. This is definitely more orange and this one is definitely more red or burgundy. But I feel like on the eye, they're both very orange. I feel like they look very similar. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the Jewel Pot. Is it called Jewel Pot? Yeah, Jewel Pot in the Walk of No Shame. Okay, so before I go on with the thing, I have my NYX glitter primer, and this is what I use before I put on any shimmery shade, unless it's like a liquid, and this one's not liquid. So just kind of put it on and just go to town, carving it out where I'm gonna place it. I've seen a few other YouTubers do this, like Butte Bean. I didn't know anyone else did this. And the only reason I found out about this is because I was in my journey trying to find something that would make my shadows stay. And I asked in a makeup group, I was like, how can I get my shadows to stay? I was like, I have really hooded, droopy eyelids. And people recommended stuff that I'd already tried. But then somebody was like, try the NYX glitter primer. And so at one point I was using it like all over my lid. But I noticed that whenever I would put on my shimmery shades on top of this, it really made it pop and it really made it last. So I've just been doing that ever since then for that. I moved on to the Blvd Beauty for the other part of my eye, but for that part, I really loved it. All right, now I'm taking a Morphe brush. I'm gonna dip into Walk of No Shame. Okay, see? I'm really liking that. Kind of blended into the other shade a little bit. See? Again, it's just very orangey and gold. I feel like that's what this whole eye look is turning into. Really good. What a lot of you will notice in some of my videos is that I don't really do a lot for under the lash line. And the reason why is because my eyes are already so small that whenever I put something on, they just appear even smaller. And I also have like really bad wrinkles under my eyes, like even up to the lid, up in the lid part. And so when I put shadow on it, after a while, it just kind of starts to fade away. But it also irritates my eyes if I put like any kind of primer here. So I just try to leave it alone. I'm gonna clean up my outer edge. I feel like that just looks so much better. There. Yeah, you can still see it. Looks pretty good. Okay. So now I'm going to move on to the face. And the reason why I don't do my brows last is because every time I try or do my brows first is because every time I try to do my brows first, somehow I get powder or I get foundation or something in my brows and it just makes it a mess and then I basically have to redo them anyways. So I just leave them alone till almost last. So today for primer, so I'm going to use the NYX High Glass as well as my Bobbi Brown. So I just did my face routine. I've moisturized, but I like having a little bit more moisturization. I have some really dry skin. It's bad. Like how dry it is, it's so bad. So just kind of see how like illuminating that like makes my, so I'm gonna try the Bobbi Brown in the areas where I really need a lot more moisture, which is usually up in this area. This smells weird to me. I don't like the way this smells. It smells like orange cleaning products. So I'm gonna put a little bit of that up here. This is where I get so unbelievably dry. no matter how much moisturizing or moisture products I put on, so dry, and I exfoliate and everything, it's just dry, so dry. Next for foundation, I'm gonna again go in with my Born This Way by Too Faced. I love this. I don't know if you can tell, like, look, I'm like at the very bottom. Like, I have that much. I love this. And I have a backup. Only this time I bought the backup in my right shade because this one is an almond and it's for yellow undertones. I do not have yellow undertones. So I kind of do like a pump and a half for my face. I just take it, just streak it all over the place. I take my sponge, my Real Technique sponge. I love the Real Technique sponge. I've never tried an actual beauty blender, but I hear a lot of people who like the beauty blenders also like these, and these are just so cheap. And a lot of times Ulta will have sales on these, especially like the 2-pack. So like, I would just rather have like these over a $20 beauty blender, and you're like, oh, one. I don't know. See, I just kind of go over my brows, so I don't even waste my time trying to do it. And I have to like make my brows kind of, because this one is almost like non-existent. I have very sparse brows, so I have to like draw them in and like make them work and stuff. It's a lot of work. It takes me a really long time. So don't forget your ears, ladies and gentlemen, and my non-conforming friends. Bring it down the neck. For my concealer, I'm going to use the Pretty Fresh concealer from ColourPop. I love this concealer. I know a lot of people are like, it doesn't have a lot of coverage. I personally don't want to draw like triangles out of my face because, again, my face is dry. I don't want a lot of powder everywhere. And again, I also look like Casper the Friendly Ghost complexion-wise. So it's really hard to find a concealer that's not white that will really, when it blends out, actually be brightening for my under eyes. So kind of open my mouth so I can get the creases. Pack the product in the creases. Oh my gosh, you guys, I literally just signed up in like a couple weeks, in like a 2-week period. I'm working like over 100 hours, and it's gonna be like all kinds of weird shifts. I'm gonna be working like Saturdays, Sundays, overnights. Normally I work day shift. I'm gonna work some like 5:30 to 2 shifts. So I'm gonna have to try to like make like a scheduling period so I can actually film. I love filming. I'm gonna take, so the first product is my Charlotte Tillbury Airlish, oh my gosh, Airlish, Jesus. Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. I'm taking this on a Morphe E48. This is a lot of kickback in the pan, this powder does. Okay, and I'm just going underneath my eyes because I'm going to be using some cream products, but because my eyes are so wrinkled, I really have to set them like as soon as I'm done with my concealer. Like, it has to be set. So my next Charlotte Tilbury product is this contour wand in Fair Medium. So, okay, I gotta figure out how you like get this thing to work, get it to come out. Oh, it says off here, and then no, turn it this way. Now it says on. Okay. Oh, yikes! Just squeezed a little bit. Okay. Cream contour the nose a little bit. I'm going to cream contour under here to kind of give it a little bit of shadow so that way it looks like it's bigger. Blends out really nice. Oh, I really like that for a nose contour. Dab it out a couple of times. I really like that for a nose contour. That's really nice. I have a feeling I'm going to be using this a lot. This is so nice. It's just kind of expensive. So I don't want to use that. I don't want to use it too fast. But yeah, I say that about like every product, and I've never gone through a makeup product yet, even though I'm making my way through the Too Faced. So I'm really happy about that. But that's what it looks like. Next, I have a cream blush, and this is the Fenty Cream in 09 Cool Berry. Here it is in Cool Berry. I think it'll look okay whenever it blends out, and it looks kind of dark. So I'm going to use the blush side. Maybe not the greatest for this look, but I think once I like take it down with powder, it'll look fine. I'm gonna lightly set over my powder products, or my cream products, I mean. There, see, it kind of really tones that down a little bit. I'm not gonna go with any powder here. I know I had some cream contour. I will go over it with the bronzer, but I'm not gonna like buff over the bronzer like that. I'm gonna tap it in first. But I don't want to put so much powder here because again, my skin is so dry. For bronzer, I'm gonna use the Revlon Skin Lights. That. I think it's really pretty. And then I'm using this like e.l.f. airbrush blender that I got in the Retro Paradise collection. This is such a good brush. Just gonna dab over it a little bit. To the other side. Okay. There we go. Very nice. And just take a little bit right under here. Kind of makes the illusion that your lips are bigger, because we all know I need them. Moving on to highlight. I have the Benefit Cookie Highlight. This highlight is so good. I love it. I don't care for a lot of Benefit's complexion products, but I do really like this. I'm just gonna go in with it lightly right here. See? It's just so good. It's like literally so blinding. And I like to take a little bit right here for whenever I smile. Yeah. Down the center of the nose. Oh. I know a lot of people, like, especially I watch Wayne Goss. I really like Wayne Goss. He hates it. I love this. And along the cupid's bow. There we go. Love that. Loving that. Okay. So now I am going to go back in with the eyes. I guess I am going to do something on the lower lash line. I don't want a lot, and I don't want it to be dark. Because again, I don't want my eyes to appear smaller. Like, I want my eyes to appear wide and open. I'm going to then take the cookie highlighter. And I'm going to highlight my inner corner. And I'm using the Sigma E46. Take some a little bit under the brow bone right here. I feel like this brush doesn't really pack on the product as much as I'm wanting. There we go. I'm now going to put on mascara. The one that I have open is my Monsieur Big from Lancome. I like this. It makes my lashes look really nice. But the one complaint I have is that it transfers onto, like, up here throughout the day. I have to, like, smudge it away later on in the day. That's one coat. That looks so good. Now, bottom lashes. These are my lashes. They look really good. So I really see an improvement. I wonder how much bigger and fuller they're gonna get. Longer, I guess. I'm going to do my brows off of camera, and then I will be right back. Okay, I'm back, and the brows are done. I think we're just on to lips now. So I have the Charlotte Tillbury Lip Cheat and Pillow Talk. This is what it looks like. Like a pinky brown. This pencil is very creamy. I really like it. So the gloss is also in Pillow Talk. I'm gonna swatch it on the back of my hand first. There it is. It doesn't really have a lot of color to it. Smells like frosting. Smells like frosting. I love that. Not quite as pigmented as I thought it was going to be. It's a little bit sticky. So can you see this in the tube? Like, it looks like it's gonna have some sort of opacity. And whenever I swatched it, I thought it would have a little bit more opacity than it does. But it doesn't. It does smell good though. And it's very kind of sticky. Okay. I'm also like in love with Manny's lip gloss formula. Like, he makes the best glosses, so I compare almost every single gloss to his. And this is just much stickier, and it's a lot more expensive than his glosses, and you get less product. So that product's an okay. All right, I'm going to use the last product we have, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. So let's. Oh, that mist is nice. All right, and that is the completed look. Let's talk about everything that we used that was from Charlotte Tilbury and what my opinions kind of are. So, first thing that we tried was the Charlotte Tilbury powder. I'm gonna kind of come up close. It's not bad. It doesn't make my under eyes where I sat it look cakey or anything, or on my cheeks where I sat it look cakey. I think it looks really nice. So I am a fan of this. I will definitely keep using this. Next, I used the contour one. I feel like this was definitely like the star of the show, especially for nose contour. I loved it for nose contour. So I'm definitely going to be using this again. I will say it's a little bit messy, so that's kind of a downside. But other than that, like, I love this. I think this is great. Okay, we used this eyeshadow palette, the Walk of No Shame eyeshadow palette. Guys, for the price, no. Like, look how hard this is. I'm like sitting here digging in it, and that's all I get off. And when you swatch it, it has some payoff, but I should not have to dig that hard in a pan. And I wish it kind of came with more mattes, because whenever you buy these two online, right, they're supposed to be a pair duo, but you just have no mattes. So, I mean, you can work with shimmers, which, as you can tell, like, it doesn't look bad. It looks fine. Again, I just wish they had more mattes, and I wish I wasn't having to dig in to number 3 for this shade. I just wish I wasn't. But I do really like this, the Walk of No Shame jar. I think it makes your lids look nice and wet, and I love it. I think that was a good product. Next up were the lip liner and the gloss. I love the lip liner. I think the lip liner is a nice color. It's a nudish kind of color, especially for me. I enjoyed it. This gloss, I think it smells good. I just wish it had a little bit more opacity and then it wasn't so sticky. I'm not a fan of glosses that are super sticky. And now that I've been talking and it's literally only been like 10 minutes, I feel like it's starting to rub away already. So I just feel like for the price, I kind of wanted it to stay a little bit longer and not be so sticky. And then last is the setting spray. I have to use it a few more times. I don't know how long this is going to stay. I know a lot of people said that they hated the scent, like such as Wayne Goss. I don't mind the scent. If you are, really sensitive to fragrances, this may not, I probably wouldn't recommend this for you. But if you're not, I didn't think that this was bad. The mist was fine. I think it was a good product. I don't know how long it's going to make my makeup last, if it's going to last any longer than the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is my holy grail for making my makeup stay. So I kind of will have to get back to you on this, like future videos. Other than that, that's it. That completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.